So welcome everybody. Welcome to Hot Song Podcast. Today is May the 20. Oh, sorry. It is May the 23rd. Why did I say May the 22nd? It's May the 23rd, 2023. And the topic for this evening is a continuation of last week's topic, which is useful fiction. So let's see. I usually have it that we should have a short meditation, like a presence meditation, before we start to talk about the main theme for the evening. And I've been forgetting it a lot. So let's now that I remember this time, let's do that. So welcome everybody. Let's start out by doing a presence meditation. So let me just close the window a little bit. So, okay, so let's start. So just everybody take a deep breath through your nose. Just inflate your lungs as much as possible. And just breathe out when you can breathe in no more. Breathe out through your nose again. And then breathe in. And breathe out. One more time. Breathe in through your nose deeply and slowly. And then let go. Just breathe out slowly through your nose. And then just continue to follow the rhythm of your own breathing with the intention of elongating your breath as much as it is still comfortable for you. Emphasis on comfort. Because when you're comfortable, then you can relax. Every time you breathe in, just take your time to slowly inflate your lungs and your whole body. And when you can breathe in no more, then simply breathe out. And as you breathe out, set the intention to relax your body as much as possible. Wherever it is that you sense some tension in your body, just set the intention to relax that part of the body even more. And as you breathe in, set the intention that you want to bring back your energy. Because during the daytime, you're doing other things that you do for your life, taking care of other people, taking care of yourself, cleaning, working, doing whatever. So lots of things that is taking your attention away from you. So bring back your attention towards yourself. Bring all of your energy, all of your attention through your breath back into yourself. And as you breathe out, just let go of the day. Just relax. There's no more things that needs your attention in this moment. So just relax. Relax your body, relax your mind, and just be with yourself. Bring all of your attention, all of your energy back within you. And only pay attention to yourself so that you can collect yourself. you can come back to yourself, come back to the reality within you. You may be working or doing things according to someone else's timetable. But right now, be the one that is setting your own timetable so that you can just be in this moment with yourself, in this moment. It's all your attention in this moment is the only place and time that you are completely in charge of. So bring back all of yourself to this moment. And when you have done that, then open your eyes if they have been closed before. Just be conscious, fully conscious of this moment within yourself. So welcome back. Last week I talked about that we have a lot of stories. There are stories that our parents tell us, and then there are stories that we tell ourselves. And then there are stories that our government tells us. Everyone around us actually has their own stories, and everyone is trying to convince or trying to get someone else to buy into whatever stories that they have subscribed to, that they hold to be true for themselves. And sometimes we can actually make use of these stories, even though we know full well that they are just stories. But, a story that you believe in fully, that you have completely buy into, becomes your reality, because that's how we create our reality. Um, what do I mean by creating our reality is that there are many information, there are many different ideas floating around out in the ether. Everybody has created their own ideas, their own beliefs, their own stories. So within this whole environment that we are, there float all of these ideas. And what our mind does is it perceives, it is capable of perceiving all of these ideas. However, we only take notice of the ideas that resonate with what it is that we believe within us. So there are, even though there may be different, I would say, very opposing ideas out there. However, we only notice the things that is important to us, that somehow resonate with us. For example, when you are hungry, you would, for whatever reason, if nothing more than because you're hungry. So you would notice food item. You may not be paying attention to, those restaurants that are around you. They've been there all along. It's just that, because you haven't been hungry, so you don't notice those places. However, when you're hungry, when there is something within you that needs something that somehow resonates with that, then you can all of a sudden be able to spot all the places to eat around you. And that's how we keep ourselves alive, is by whatever it is that we need, all of a sudden our attention goes to those things that actually can satisfy our bodily needs in the moment. And those information has been there all along. It's just that most of the time, like especially when you are absolutely full, you will not notice. You don't want to take notice of more food items because you have had enough. So like you see something and it does not even register. So that's how our mind works. Is it whatever it is that that your mind thinks that would benefit you, would fit whatever it is that feeds you metaphorically and physically, then you would notice those things. Other things, even when they are there, you don't notice them. That's how our mind does. It deletes a lot of information because everywhere you look, there are so many pieces of information that's coming at us, especially now because the energy is more is higher, which means that we have the capacity to process more information. So like right now, there are many millions and millions bits of information coming at us. So however, depending on how we have trained our consciousness, we are only aware of a certain band of information that fits within what it is that we need in order to be in this playground. So that is, and we can actually make use of this idea, is that we can actually use stories to shift our identity. I just want to, okay. So I mentioned last time that part two is really, because part one is, we talked about, okay, what's important is we create our reality. We are creators. We create what we experience from moment to moment. However, we can only create, the way it is set up is that we create what it is that we believe, not only what it is that we accept, that whatever it is that we actually believe, because whatever we believe actually creates an interlocking pattern within us. So whatever it is that we believe, we don't just believe it because we see it. We believe it because of the smell, because of how it feels, because of what we see. So all of these different senses has a role to play in what it is that we believe. So when we believe in something, we actually have created a way of looking at the world through our beliefs. And whatever it is that does not fit in our beliefs, we don't know how to, we don't process them. We just ignore those things. For example, people that don't believe that there are any ghosts in the world, even if there is one standing right in front of them, they would ignore it. Even if they see some, maybe see maybe they feel something or they smell something that is, or if they like, um, feel something touching their face. There's like someone else who have these extra senses. They may see, they may be able to see the ghost, and they can confirm that yeah, there is a ghost in the room. But someone whose belief system does not allow for a ghost, they would come up with all these different scenarios that, oh, it's just because there is, let's say there are these spider webs that is creating that sensation in your in your face that makes you feel like there's something there brushing past you. And if they can actually see something, then no, it's not. It's just because of the way the light is. So, and that's why a lot of the times, the same, like the could be the same experience, but two people with different belief system, they would experience the same incident and be able to create a story, completely different story from that experience. That's it's not because one person is crazy. It's because that's how it is. Whatever it is that is does not fit in with our belief system, those are the things that we ignore. And so somebody whose belief system does not allow for a, a ghost or anything that is supernatural, they would somehow find a rational reason to explain those things away. So that really is how we um, we work. So first, last week we talked about how to release old patterns. Because why? We are creators. We create. And we create what we believe in. When we want to create a completely different experience for ourselves, then we need to let go of, or at least loosen up the old belief system, because otherwise we would still be able, we would still, it would be very hard for us to create something new from an old belief system. So I made the joke that, if you don't believe in ghosts, then you won't see them. The same can be thought of as if you don't believe that you are lovable, then no matter what happens, you would not accept that, other people are in love with you. I remember one of the earlier clients that I have, she actually told me a story that she actually has somebody like really nice boy, well-to-do family, fell in love with her. And he told her that he loves her and really wanted to develop a relationship with her. But at that time, she does not like herself at all. She has these really low self-esteem. And when she heard this other person told her that, I love you, I want to get to know you, I want to build a life with you, she completely shut him off. Does not even, she couldn't respond to that amount of love because there's no way she could believe that someone else can love her, because she just couldn't handle that love. And so she rejected the person and had other experiences to confirm to her that she is horrible and unlovable and all of that crazy stuff. So that is usually what happens. And so that's why we need to let go and release the old programs first. Because if you try to create something new, but at the back of your mind, you still have the old beliefs, then you will sabotage yourself. Because the old beliefs, whether you are consciously aware of them or not, they are still there and they still limit what you can create or how your creation can show up. Even if you, like if you're trying to find a boyfriend, for example, or a girlfriend, and you don't love yourself, you have that belief that you're not good enough and nobody loves you because you're not pretty enough, you're not young enough, you're not tall enough, whatever the excuse that you have to convince yourself that you're unlovable. If even if you do all the right things to make yourself available for a relationship, it's very hard for you to create that relationship because the old program is there. So that's why last week we talked more about letting go and releasing all the old beliefs. So any questions about what I talked about last week and so far? Any questions, comments?
I have a couple of comments.
Yeah.
One is that when you say that our mind doesn't let certain things come in because of our beliefs, our mind has a filter, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The things that does not fit in with our beliefs, yeah, there's a cognitive dissonance there. So we don't look at it because, it's so far out.
It just won't come in. There's something blocks it, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. And
block it.
yeah. And the other thing is that, I mean, how would you change your beliefs, especially subconscious beliefs? You don't even know you have it. How would you change the belief? Um,
So I talked about some release strategy last week. So do that.
okay.
Okay, do that. That will like it. So let me try. Okay, so two things you need to do. Number one, you set the intention that you want. Okay, there is intention.
Right.
The intention that you want to release that belief. Okay. Number two, is you have to take action. So I gave you a strategy last week.
Right. I remember it now. Yeah.
Yep. However, yes, does it have to be that strategy? No, it can be any other strategy. I just gave you one. So I've given you other ones as well, and
Right.
that's fine. But it's not the strategy, it's the action. If you really want to change something, then you have to set the intention and you have to take action.
Yeah. And I think there's emotional component to it as well, because are they tied together, thoughts and feelings? I mean, if you have feeling about something and you change your thought, but the feeling's still there, it may not change.
So the role of a feeling is to accentuate the thought.
Okay.
So, for example, violence or like killing somebody or hate is resonance. Is there something within you that, like, is there a thought within you about hate that, you cannot, that you really, there's something that you cannot come to grips with, that you really resent to the extent that you call it hate. So that is a thought. To actually feel it physically, that's the feeling part. So the feeling part is there to support the thought.
Okay.
So, like, if you don't think of something, however, the feeling, if you still feel something, like when you see a similar situation, when you can still feel it, that means that thought is still there.
Hmm.
That
Okay.
means you haven't quite resolved that story that causes you to hate something or have a certain um
Yeah.
have a certain judgment against that something.
Right.
So the
Yeah.
feeling is there to let you know that that thought pattern is still there.
Hmm.
So you haven't quite dismantled all of it. However, if you set the intention that you want to dismantle it, and then you also take action to dismantle it. Doesn't have to be the strategy that I shared or any of the strategy that I shared.
Right.
The important thing is you have to do something. You can't just, keep thinking, oh, I want to release it. I want to release it. And you don't do something to release it. And that something could be as easy as just breathing out. Just release it through your breath. It could be as simple as that, but it's an action.
Yeah, but what about the energy? Maybe you want to release the energy that's behind the thought, because once you release the energy, then it doesn't have a place in you. Am I right?
Okay. So let me put it this way. The thought will all like as I mentioned, this there are lots of thoughts,
Right.
lots of thoughts. So lots of thoughts floating in the air, and your mind perceives all these thoughts. Okay. But the thing is, when it's something that you have um, completely resolved, then there's still hope. Mm, okay. So there's no hook. That means that, yeah, the thought, but it comes in and out and it does not trigger any response. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
So, okay, so if you're saying that the thought has become neutral.
Yeah. When
Okay.
you have, when there's no more reaction from you, then like the thought can still come back, but
Right.
it does
Right.
not, it does not like when you're neutral, there's no more trigger. Like the thought just comes in and you just, oh, okay, yeah,
Right.
oh,
Yeah.
I know that thought is there, but it does not, you don't need to create a story, you don't need to create an experience anymore because there's nothing attached to it.
Right. Yeah.
So, but in order for that to happen, you have to set the intention and you have to take the action to release something. You
Mm-hmm.
can't just say, oh, I release it. And it can't just be thinking about releasing it. You have to actually do something to release it.
Or maybe if you accept it and you say, okay, I'm done with you, then it won't release out of its own.
So then you have to test it out. You're done with it. So when something similar happens, do you still have,
Right.
can
Yeah.
you, any unresolved residual, like,
Yeah.
still.
Yeah, I understand. We're saying the same thing. Maybe I'm making it too complicated, but you know, Cornelius talks about programs, patterns, loops, and beliefs. I guess they all same category. Yeah, and there's a story there. You talk about stories, not just a belief. A belief has a story associated with it, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the story is just that usually a belief is not just one thought. It's usually a network of thoughts that support each other to
Mm,
create a pattern.
right. Yeah. Yeah.
So you may have resolved one part of that pattern, but if you haven't resolved everything within it, then yeah, it can still bring up some, it can still trigger you.
Mm-hmm.
So then that's why usually if you just say, okay, I'm gonna release that, it may be as simple as that, but it may not be. So you have to test.
Right. Yeah.
Because a belief can have, let's say, 7 different stories
Mm.
attached to it that created that pattern. Even if you resolved 3 of them, there's still 4 left.
That makes it complicated. I mean, so how do you know? I guess you'll test it. If you haven't released all the stories, you'll still get triggered. So that's how you test. So I guess you got to test it. Yeah.
Yep, you have to get to the point where you truly feel that, okay, it happens and you have no more trigger.
So just saying I'm done with it is not enough.
I don't know. It may be enough. It may not be.
But
So I'm
in
just
some
saying that,
cases, yeah. Yeah.
I'm just saying that, you'd have to test it
Mm. Okay.
and take action to release until you're neutral about it.
That was very good. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Any other comments, questions?
But it takes a long time because since last week I'm trying, like we were talking about my uh, belief, saying that, oh, I have to do this, I have to, because I know I'm very practical. Since last week I'm saying I'm not practical, I'm not practical, but when I'm doing it, I'm really looking at all the angles, and so I'm still practical in a way. But it made me a little bit more aware not to. I'll shed it. I'm just like literally very thin layer is coming off, but it has not gone completely. And but the awareness came to in my head. Every time I want to do something, it should be done not like, oh, I am a practical, I should look in this way. That part is fading away. I am working on it. That's, I believe that, like how you say action, and that action is in a very slow motion, but it is there. So that's how I know that it will work. I have to work maybe a little bit more harder, but it is giving me a little bit more freedom to say that, it is what it is. So I don't have to be practical.
Being practical, there's nothing wrong with being practical. There's nothing wrong with being practical. It's so that's why the what we're talking about today is going to be relevant, because it's not just about releasing. You wouldn't know whether you've released or not until you actually go and start to create something new.
Mm-hmm.
When you are going to when you start, so there's 2 things you have to release: the old, okay, but at the same time, you have to start something new, because if you keep releasing, you wouldn't know. Like, there's no way that you can find out whether you've released completely, because it's always about testing. So how do you test? You test it by creating something new, and then you see the results. If you want to create something new and you don't get the result that you want, then you know that there is still something there that needed to be released.
Mm-hmm.
It's not released for the sake of releasing. It's so that you have room to create something new,
Mm-hmm.
meaning that well, you have experienced life so far as niche. So, you have this identity, very practical, niche, and all of that. But do you really want to experience? You have to ask yourself that.
I wanted to like not do too analytical about things. Though I'm easygoing most of the time, like 90%, but there are certain things eh, when it comes to, okay, I'll bring my son. When I look at my son, it has to be this way, this way, this way, this way, right? But that's my perspective. It's not his life. His life is different. So, like creating this mess, it does not bother me anymore. Before, if it was, it was like before, how the hell this is this? Who told you? And blah 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 blah. I said, oh, okay. I look at this way. Yeah, you're right. You did it. You tried to do something. So what if you damage more? It's okay. It is okay. So the-
Okay,
it
good.
it
That's
is
it.
it is a working but a very slow process. Yes, it will take a long time for me, or maybe not. To shed the old beliefs,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
because I think I got it from like my parents, because my parents and the society and everything, it has to be this way, this way, this way. It's really engraved in my every cell, so that I have to really clean it to say no, it can't be, it could be totally different too.
Mm-hmm.
But thank you for sharing, and thank you for teaching me that, and thanks, I'm changing.
Okay. Wonderful. Thank you for doing that. Thank you for releasing and noticing. Okay. So
Thanks.
now let's talk about this week then. So, okay. So talk a bit about releasing. And I've already mentioned that, yes, it's releasing is good, but don't release for the sake of releasing. Release with an intention. The intention is you want new experience. So, um, we we live in a simulated reality. Okay, so I know right now you may not understand fully what that means. Um, because when we are in a simulation, when we are in a simulation, it's like when we are in a dream. When we're in a dream, everything makes sense in the dream. It's only when you wake up, you think of your dream and say, huh? I don't know how to fly. How come in my dream I could fly? But when you're in the dream, flying seems normal. Once you wake up, you realize, okay, that must be a dream, because I don't know how to fly. But you wouldn't know it when you're actually dreaming. Very few people can realize it. There are some people who actually can become lucid in their dreaming, and they would be able to to know that they are actually dreaming. But most people don't. So right now, when I tell you that we are in a simulated reality, I don't ask for you to believe me or believe it. It's okay. I'm just telling you it. Whether you believe me or not, it does not matter, because even if you don't believe me, you can still use these things. Okay. So when we're in a simulated reality, there are certain rules. And when you act according to those rules, then you will get results. So I'm starting to tell you what those rules may be, so that, like if you haven't been getting much good results in manifesting what you want, maybe knowing more of these rules will allow you to actually get better results when you know. Okay. So one of the things that we let you know is that this simulation, this playground, it wants you to get what you want. It wants you to get what you want. It actually wants to help you play. So the way it does is, whatever you believe, it is going to manifest what it is that you, according to your belief. And it does that not to, it's not a bad thing. It's actually a good thing, because if you don't like what you manifest, then you know what went wrong is because there's something in your belief that is not quite aligned with what you want to experience. So, and it is telling you that, okay? So this playground wants you to get what you want. So the playground is not trying to drag you down or trying to punish you. It's working it wants you to be happy. It wants you to, well, okay, it may not want you to be happy, but it wants you to get what you want. It is designed to do that. So, and the way it does, is by manifesting according to your belief, because it is trying to support your belief. If you believe that the sky is blue, it will make it blue. If you believe that the sky is red, it will make it red, even if it's blue for anyone else. But for you, you will notice that it is red. So that is how this playground works. Okay. And one of the most important thing to remember is that you're here to pass through. You're here to play. Who you are is so much more than the personality that you're playing at the moment. So who I am is way more than Winnie. Way more than Winnie. Winnie is, this old lady, an old Chinese lady who's, living in a small place in Toronto. But who I truly am beyond this playground is so much more. So when you actually believe that you are this, like when I actually believe, there was a time when I actually believed that I am Winnie. I can't do anything. I need help. I have to, pray to the gods, to, pray to Jesus, pray to, whomever it is, in order to, to get to that little bit that I have. So, and now I don't believe that anymore. And so my creation is a little different now. So who you are is so much more. You are eternal essence playing in this reality, playing. You're not staying here forever. This is not real. It's not eternal, but you are eternal. And I mentioned before that the playground wants you to get what you want. So remember this, the playground is not here to punish you, even though there was a time when I actually believed that, life is so hard. How come life is so hard? It's, why? Because I've been taught to believe that life is hard. This place is brutal and I have to fight for everything. So that was, and there are lots of people out there that says that this is a prison planet. That is a belief. And if you truly resonate with that belief, then this playground is going to you're going to struggle in this playground. So really understand that this playground actually is here to support you. Everything that you have seen so far is all to support your belief. And that it is, the playground wants you to get what you want. So when you truly integrated this, that the playground actually is working for you all the time, then you can let go of the fight or flight response. Because a lot of the times this is this stress, the fight or flight stress, that created that stress in our body. So when you can let go of that fight or flight reflex, then your body can actually start to relax and heal itself. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about is, how do you create a timeline? So creating the timeline that you want to experience from moment to moment. Okay, so one of the things is you have, like, we are all, according to our old beliefs, we have created this timeline for us. So when you want a new experience, you want to create a different, higher timeline for yourself. And how do you create that? You have to create that moment by moment. Because this moment is all you have. That's why the presence meditation is actually, is to get, hopefully, to get everybody into yourself, to be here in this moment. So you're not thinking about yesterday or thinking about tomorrow. You are actually here, because here is when you can do something about your experience. And it's actually very simple: aligned intention and aligned action. So those are the two things you need in order to create a new timeline for yourself. So let me just explain. What do I mean by aligned intention? So we're always creating, because we have to create reality. Our mind creates our reality. So we always create. So either we create according to someone else's chosen reality, or we create according to our chosen reality. And if you do not choose the reality that you want to experience, then, like, if you do not consciously choose the reality that you want to experience, then you, by default, you are experiencing a reality that someone else has created or has set up for you to experience. So you can actually choose what you want, who you are, and what you want to experience in each moment. At first, you have to believe, truly believe that you can choose. If you don't believe that you can choose, then you can't. So first thing is work on believing that you actually can choose what you want to experience, that you have a choice. A lot of people don't even believe that. They believe that they are nobody and they have to, that they have no control over their own reality, that, their reality is according to what the government allows you to do. And according to, how much money you earn, according to whatever it is that reasons or excuse that you believe in. So if you believe that you don't have the choice, then that's your belief in this moment. And you can step out of that. You can step out of that. You can start to set the intention that you want to choose the reality that you want to experience. So set that. That will be the first intention to set, is that you want to choose your experience. Choose that. You want to do that. You want to choose how you experience this reality. And then aligned intention is then the alignment part. So the alignment part would be, okay, so I want to choose how I experience this reality. Anything that once you have made that choice, anything within your thought pattern, within your habits that does not support that, you have to create a new thought pattern, create a new habit to support the intention that you want. That is what alignment means, meaning that it's not just choosing. No, I choose to make $1,000 every minute. You can choose that. So within your own belief system, when you choose that, what comes up for you? Any kind of believe that you can't do it, then you have to release those misaligned beliefs. Any kind of beliefs that says, oh, who do I think I am to be able to earn $1,000 a minute? Like any part of you that actually do not believe, then you have to do something to switch those beliefs. You have to create an aligned action. It could be, doing release work. It could be getting a coach to coach you how to take aligned action. It could be, what else? It could be you want to pay a teacher that teach you how to take the action. So those are the two things you need. It's aligned intention and aligned action. And both needed to be happening at the same time so that you can start to create that timeline where you can have your chosen experience. And at first, the way this reality is created is that at first, when you first try to shift to a different timeline, there will be resistance. Why? Because this it is trying to conserve energy, because there are 7 billion people, 7+ billion people on this planet. So it wants that the most energy efficient way is for everyone to just move with the collective. So that would be the easiest way, the most energy efficient way. And when you move with the collective, that means you are going to experience whatever it is that the collective has created for you to experience. Then you're not your own creator. You're experiencing someone else's creation for you. You're not being a creator. When you're trying to be a creator, you have to set a different intention away from what the collective wants, and you have to take the aligned action in order to create that experience for yourself. And initially, the collective will try to, convince you that, you know what, you should do this. You should do what everyone else wants. You should, be this nice little girl and don't make waves. The collective will try to persuade you not to be a creator. Why? Because the program is designed to conserve energy at first. But when you consistently take the aligned action, the action that's aligned with your intention, when you consistently do that, the playground will understand, oh, you don't want to have the collective experience. You are a creator now. Okay, good. He or she has woken up now, so let's support that. And that is when, you will have whatever it is that the new reality and timeline that you want to go on to. You will start to meet the right people that will help you along and be at the right place at the right time. So synchronicity. That's why synchronicity is the playground responding to you. But at first, there will be a little bit of, you will be tested at first. So questions, comment?
There's so much programming against this. One of them is that allow whatever needs to happen, right?
Yeah, there is.
Don't fight it, let it happen. Yeah. And we're programmed heavily to believe that, this is what happens to you. You're not in charge. This is yours. No, this is the other one. This is your soul wants to experience this, or God wants you to experience this, right?
Yes, religion is a big program.
Yeah.
It's a very big program. Guess what? You are God, or at least you are an aspect of God.
Right, right.
So when a voice in your head says, God wants you to experience that, then you have to question, well, I'm God. Mean? What does that mean? Yes, I know.
Wow.
That's why, trying to create a new timeline is, at first, it's not easy. At first. So at first, you just have to make a choice, make a decision, what it is that you want. You have to really be something that matters to you. You know, like if money, like I said, you know, $1,000 a minute. Like for me, it's like, yeah, that's not a big drive for me, you know,
Mhm.
because money itself, okay, it's not a big drive for me. But if I'm making that money because I want to, you know, buy a farm, for example, so I can be self-sufficient. And if that reality, being able to be in a farm community, you know, be able to grow my own food, be in an environment that I can be closer to nature, if that really resonate with me, then yeah, you know,
Mhm.
that's why you don't just pull an intention out of the hat. Make that intention something that really means something to you. When it's
Mhm.
something that actually means something to you, then you know when you are tested, you would be able to push through.
Right.
You can
Yeah.
create that new timeline. So yeah,
Yes. Speaking of that, something else came to me. We've heard that you need to visualize what you want. That's part of being putting attention, right?
um, yeah, yeah, part of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I didn't get how we create that timeline in a moment. For example, I have my intention, I visualize what I want, and then what?
Okay. You visualize. Okay. So the reason why they say visualize is because one of the um it's about identity. Okay. The easiest way to manifest something is make believe that you already have it. You have to truly convince yourself that you already have it. So one of the ways to convince yourself that you already have it is to visualize it, because we create a reality through our senses, our five senses. So if you can see it, if you can touch it, you can smell it, you can taste it, then it's real. So that's why they say visualize it, is to make it real. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, and then I have to, like, every moment I have to hold that visualization to create in a moment my next timeline. I mean, that timeline above.
So it's not just to visualize it, it's to actually feel that you already have it. So how would you feel if you already have it?
Mm, okay.
Okay, so let's say if I want to live in a farm, for example, be able to have like Jamie Oliver, you know, grow his own food, have this nice piece of land, be able to, you know, grow his own food, have a gardener that actually helps to help him to, you know, plan out how to grow what food combination with what food combination, those things. You have to actually feel what it feels like to be sitting in your own food garden. actually be able to see the butterflies going, the bees buzzing, and smell the flowers, and see, your family moving around and enjoying the garden with you. So all those things. And just so, not, you can't do it all the time, but at least at least 1 or 2 minutes a few times during the day, you really allow yourself to completely feel it. And also enjoy and feel that elevated feelings, that joy that you have when you have everything that you want to experience. To actually put yourself in that timeline already enjoying your own food garden, all of those things. Because it's not realistic to do that, all day long to be that. And the playground is responsible enough that you don't have to do that. However, you do need to be able to fully have that experience for a few minutes, a few times a day.
Got it. Thank you.
Okay? Other
I guess what
questions?
you're saying is that when you do that, then you're building a field, correct?
You're building a field, yes. And you also need to take action as well.
Right.
Yep. So the first action is to actually spend time to fully immerse yourself in the new reality that you choose to experience. And then when the next thing comes along, is maybe you want to start to, like using the food garden as an example, is maybe you want to, take some courses on how to grow your own food, for example. And the next action may be, starting to look around and see if there is any suitable piece of land. So you at least, know how much money you need in order to be able to pay a down payment for that piece of land. So you have to take some action as well. It's not just in your head.
It's just not just creating the field and things will happen to you.
Because we live in this environment, is still physical, or at least mostly physical, even though it's an illusion, but we experience it as physical. So you actually have to, or I shouldn't say you have to, but the most efficient way is to actually take action.
Right. Yeah.
Action
Yeah.
speaks louder than else.
Right. And that takes me to my next question about the laws, especially the law of attraction. That's the big one these days. I guess there are laws in this playground, correct?
Well, I wouldn't say that there are laws. I would say that there are rules. I don't say that there are laws, because laws seem to, there are rules. I prefer rules, because
Okay, I like that better.
all of those laws can be broken.
Right. Yeah, I like that better
This
too.
is a
Yeah.
simulation. So there are rules, there are some guidelines, but depending on how I would say how resonant you are with that new reality, the more you are able to create your own reality, the more action you take towards creating your own reality. the easier it gets. The first time would be the hardest. Like the first time that you start to create something that is other than what normal people do, it may not be the easiest one because you're testing the water. You're testing the water to be your own creator. Because your reality, your life, most of your life have been created for you.
Right.
So the first time you actually create your own life the way you want it, it's going to be not as easy as following the rule. And then the more you do it, the easier it gets.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other comments, questions? I just want to say one more thing, is that so the new playground is, or I should say the fifth dimensional playground, trust. Trust is a new program within 550 or 5D. So trust meaning that you, number one, you start to really resonate that this playground is working for you. Because we've been taught, or at least I have been taught, that it's just hard. Everything is hard. Everything is out to get you. That life is like if you don't move forward, life will push you back. So this idea that life is hard has been ingrained. So first thing you need to switch around is to trust this playground and understand that all of this thing about, playground being hard, yeah, that was all old programming, because there were actually two programs. There's the natural matrix, or the organic matrix, and then there's the inverted matrix. So they're like, in the past, we've actually had a playground within the playground. And that playground within the playground makes it hard for us. Now that one, the old one, is gone. It's no longer supported. We are back in the organic matrix. And this is something that is fairly new. So a lot of people don't trust it yet. They were, like most of us, we've been raised on school of hard knocks. And all of a sudden, that's all gone. So we don't trust it. We don't trust that the universe actually has our back. That this playground actually wants us to remember that we are the creator. So that's why I trust. So it's something that is important to re-educate ourselves, is that the organic matrix is working for us 100% all the time. It's just that we've been raised in the old inverted matrix. So that's gone. But we still carry it in our body. We still act as though the inverted matrix is still alive and well. It's not. So let go of that inverted matrix and start to feel this world again. Start to feel your body again. Let go of fight or flight response and really allow your body to come back into feeling supported. And also know that, yes, this universe supports you, but before it supports you, it will also test you. Are you really ready? So at first, it's going to be slower. You will get maybe very little result, maybe none at all. However, it is really to keep taking aligned actions, keep aligning your own intention, refining, aligning your own intention. And when you gather enough momentum, then synchronicity starts to happen and it will become easier and easier. And also one more thing is to everything you do, whatever action you do, you will always get a result. If the result you get is not what you want, is to understand that the result actually is a feedback for you. So if you don't get results or you didn't get the result that you want, it's a feedback. It simply means that, you need to adjust your actions a little bit, refine it a little bit, and don't abandon everything because see, I told you it's not working. Don't have that in your mind. Just know that, okay, I have this intention and I took this action and I get, 0 results. So ask a better question is, what other action or what refinements do I need in order to get the result that I want? Because the universe is always supporting me and it's giving me feedback. So how do I evaluate the feedback to get a better result? So when you think of it this way, then at some point you would have refined your actions and your intentions enough that all of a sudden synchronicity will start to happen. You will meet the right people, you will be at the right place at the right time. One more thing is authenticity, because when you are creating, you are getting out of the collective. So the more authentic, original, and unique your intention and your actions are, the more powerful the results that you are going to get. And that's all I have to say. Any other questions and comments?
For me, I just look at it like, yes, I can hold that, the visualization. I can be there almost every day, even 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 2 minutes, whatever. Like, I know that whatever I want, it's there. But then I lose patience after maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and say, why it's not coming? Why it's not coming? I don't have a patience. So that's where the trust plays a role. But my question is, how long do I have to do? And then I say, I I will be doing this the rest of my life, and I'm in illusion. And by the time I'll kick the bucket, by the time it's gonna, by the time it's gonna materialize, so it's time to go. Uh, Leave this playground. So why it doesn't come faster.
Mhm.
Because
Can you give me an example of one thing that you want to?
Like it's been almost 2 years. I was thinking to moving to the house and I do that. I draw the house. I look at it, what I wanted, how I want it, where I want it, how it's like how you said you wish to stay in the farm, and then you visualize the same thing with me too. Okay, have a backyard, have this, have that, and but it's not happening.
did you go? Yeah,
I go,
that's
I travel.
also my question. Yeah, she
June,
mentioned
can
the
you
move
can you
house, and you also said intention of move to a farm, self-sufficient. Now it's also my dream. So that's the intention. Let's say what kind of action we should have. Which ones? You move, you go and watch the market, and you pay attention to what exactly action we should have to reach that goal.
okay? Hang on a minute, June. Let me just get back to Nishi. Okay, so
I drive, I look at the houses, I look at the farms, I look at this, and then I say, okay, this is like King Road right here, this, that, and all that. Even when we go to Shifu's class and I go little north on King Road, oh, this is perfect. It's serene, it's this, and just that little house is good enough.
okay, so when you imagine being in the farm,
Mm-hmm.
sorry, being in your house,
Mm-hmm.
the house.
House has a farm too, so it's a nice big land.
Okay, so there's something missing in that creation.
Okay, what is missing?
Are you going to live in the farm by yourself?
No, I'll have my son too with me.
Okay. Have you talked with him about that?
Yes, he loves it.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, he looked at another like farm. He goes, meanwhile, we can rent this. I said, no, I don't want to go rent somebody's and fix it. I wanted to have our own.
Okay. So one thing that I haven't talked about is when you're creating something with someone else, the two of you need to align your creation. So you two have to, have to talk about it and really see if both of you are in alignment. Is the way you see the farm or the house, is it the same as the way he feels about the farm?
He even think even further than me. I'll have a boat. I'll have this. I'll have that, and I will have this. Okay, whatever. But let's get the house first.
Then you have to convey with him, because
Mhm,
he has so many other things stacked up in that. So
mhm.
it's like, okay, is all of these included in the vision? You understand what I'm saying? Because
Mhm.
if he has all of these things also included, so then you have to be aligned with that as well.
Mhm.
Okay, so be more aligned. Are you okay with his, like the two
Yes,
of
I'm
you
okay.
aligned?
I am okay because I whatever the goodies, the toys he wants to have it, he can have it. It doesn't matter. I told him I'll stay up and you stay down. That's all. Raised bungalow.
Yeah. Um, yeah, if it's co-creation, you have to make sure both of you are aligned. That's
And he's okay with it. He goes, I only need one room. That's it. I said, no, you keep the basement. It's a walkout and I stay up. He goes, okay.
okay. So what else have you?
I know the color. I know what design I want, how many bedrooms I want, and how it's going to look like, and how I'm going to really like every day. As a matter of fact, I even bought something and I packed it, wrapped it, and I said I'm a move taking this to my new house. It's been
Mhm.
almost like a year.
Okay, so then the other thing you have to talk about is so take more action other than just thinking about it, just visualizing it. Take more action. How much money do you need and how much money do you have? Like bridge that gap.
I believe that money will come, no problem.
Who is going to run your farm?
Oh, we'll rent the farm. We will rent the farm. I will keep only like 2-3 acres for just my vegetables and all that. Rest we will rent it out.
If you rent it out, that person will need a place to stay.
No, no, no. There are farmers. They just use it for like. I know they take only rent is not much. It's only $100 an acre per year, and I don't mind. They can do that. So
Mm-hmm. Okay, have you talked to other people who have done that?
Winnie, really, like I look at it, maybe 20 years ago too, I wanted that. Since that day, the thought is lingering in my head, on and off, on and off. The circumstances are little different here. So one day will happen. Don't worry, one day will happen. Because I think probably because I lived in the farm back home and I love that lifestyle. And now, especially looking at all the food and everything else, and I'm saying, wow, okay, it's time to go back to the what
That's
we,
the future. That's the future. I
yes,
heard in the future, everybody have to think a way to go the direction, self-sufficient.
yes, because we should know what we are eating, not plastic, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Okay, my suggestion is go back to aligning with if you are going to if if your vision is to do it with your son, then align the two of you.
Hmm.
Okay, and then also and the other thing is to keep taking the next step of action.
Hmm.
Keep taking the next step that you can take. You said the money is going to come, then actually see um take the next step. Then what is the next step?
And you know that money will come, and I owe you 10% out of that money. So I promised last time, so.
Well, thank you very much. And so then the next step and the next step.
Okay.
Keep taking the next step. So the next step, maybe, learn how to, I don't know whether you already know how to plant food.
Oh, I know how to plant. I know how to take care of it because
Okay.
that's
And
how I was born. We
so
seen
then, also look at, what equipment do you need in order to allow you to do that? So, get it as though, you're actually doing it step by step.
As a matter of fact, my son, he looked at it. The equipment were the microgreens. So he said, "Oh, we can have the microgreens there. It's so good. So we don't have to worry about winter and all those things." We do talk about the same line. We are on the same. When it comes to that kind of issues, we are always on the same wavelength. So when it comes to cleaning, we are totally opposite. So
Well, okay.
You are more ambitious than me. I only say, oh, got a house at a minimum, I have a half acre. I can have a small garden or grow some vegetable. Yeah, I know somebody, yeah, that bought a big, like a farm, but both of them have job, so they just rent those to the laborers at a low price, as you said, $100 per acre, something like that.
right.
And they have they have a small piece for themselves, grow vegetables.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sorry, Jim, what was your question?
Thank you, Vinny.
Very similar. This is a idea future things, have a house, have some land, and grow your own vegetable, self-sufficient, something like that. But yeah, um, I, I'm the action is now I'm trying to look around which place I should move into, because here maybe a place warmer, a little bit warmer than here. I don't know. So next step.
Well, then the next step for you then is to really get clear. If you like warmer, then go to scout out the places that are warmer. See if you like it there. Maybe if you like go to somewhere for a week or two that's warmer, and see if this is like
Exactly.
get clear. Yeah, get clear.
Yeah.
Clarify what it is that you want, because
Mm-hmm.
it would be nice to be warmer, but then you actually have to go to the place and see whether it actually is good or not.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Any other comments, questions?
How about living in a commune, sort of? So like-minded people come together and share everything.
Oh, that's the best, but not easy to organize. Nobody organizes that. Yeah.
You don't have to organize. When I used to work at Kamal Lodge, there are 2 buildings where it's for residents, like older residents. And between the 2 buildings, they had a whole plot, and each person would have their own little square of garden to grow, and then they would water it and care for it. Some people would grow flowers, some people would grow some vegetables. I think it was a Chinese group. Yeah.
I know
Um,
that in Florida they have community for
Oh,
people
wait,
for people over 60. They sell that houses not expensive and you can buy and live there.
mhm.
Well, if that's what you want, then go explore those places.
Mhm.
Take the next step.
You don't know those 55 plus communities, the new ones. The price will scare you. Here, 600, oh no, $800,000 a
Wow.
piece. You want it? I cannot afford it. Oh,
What cost
If-
$800,000? The house?
55 plus community, the house.
That doesn't sound right.
It's interesting.
Oh,
The time like 20 years ago, all that community was selling their houses for $25,000. Can you imagine? Now it's 800. Crazy.
yeah, Boston, the house is just because no inventory, no house on sale, so everyone. Oh, it's so expensive. Of
And-
course, I won't buy a house. I don't need a house here. Buy a house here.
And I think you're getting ahead. It's not about, so you're getting, so you're creating. So you create everything to it. You create, if that's what you want, then you create even the money for you to get that.
Yeah, just like me. I'm thinking money will come.
Yeah, you create everything. The money will
I
come.
know money will come,
If,
but I won't buy that so expensive one. I buy
So then
something.
you understand that your belief is limiting you.
Uh-huh,
So that's something that you need to look into. So you're not aligned.
uh-huh.
So the point is align. Align your thoughts as well.
Yeah.
Okay, take
Now I only
align
aligned
your
my search to 350. That's my highest line. $350,000.
you are
No more than that.
you are setting that for yourself. You don't
Yeah.
you don't understand that you're creating everything. You're creating a reality. You're creating a new timeline, a new
So I can,
reality where what you want to experience is there for you. So you are,
so I can aim higher because I'm created. Anyway, yeah.
yeah. So you're actually, you believe that, you are selling yourself short.
Okay.
So
Yeah. Needed to.
nothing's
Yeah.
wrong with that. Nothing's wrong with that. That's where you're at. But that does not mean that, that you can only be that. If
Yeah.
you want to, you can actually shift to a different belief. right now you believe something different, and you can also shift your own beliefs as well.
Need to improve that change that.
Mhm.
So don't limit, only limiting, not only
Mhm.
how to say, find an ideal place. What the house looks like, but don't put a price on it.
So, yep. So really switch around that you are creator and you create your own reality.
What's
Can
your
I add a
plan,
couple
Winnie?
of, oh, go ahead.
No, what I was asking Winnie, what's your plan?
I
Cool.
I don't have a plan yet.
Okay.
I've been told
You have intention, right?
I've been told
Ideas.
something and I don't know how to get there yet. And I'm actually still thinking about whether what I've been told is something that how do I align to it? So right now I'm still clarifying my creation.
Mm.
Yeah, step by step, we will get there.
Okay, what I was gonna say, a couple of things. So that this brings up so many questions. One was the one when Nishi was talking about it kept coming out for me that you need to have a plan. So if you create a plan that tells the playground, maybe you're serious, you're gonna follow through. And anyway, that's one thing came up. The other thing was that we've heard about being in the flow or follow the Tao. Don't push things. Let things happen to you. That's sort of. I mean, when you take action, you come more from the young, right? You push, you create, but Taoism says that just let things come to you. What do you say about that?
So there are some people who are here for a purpose. So for those people who have a purpose, whatever it is that they want to experience is already within. So they can't help it. They already know what they want
Mm,
because they came here for that purpose.
mm,
So they would go for it. For them, following the Tao, their Tao is to flow to wherever it is that their purpose is taking them to.
okay, so it's not just that they're giving their power to the playground, they just already have something. Okay.
There's some people that choose to incarnate for a particular purpose.
Mm,
Not everyone is like that. Some are like that. Okay. So for those people following the Tao, they have their own way of following the Tao.
okay.
And then there are some people, actually, we are all following the Tao. Because in the end, that's what we are all doing.
Yeah.
It's just that, it shows up differently.
Mm. Mhm.
Some people, they are on a life that is vacation.
Yeah.
we do have a vacation life where not much is happening. We're just here
Right, yeah.
for
Go with the
purpose.
flow.
So those people can go with the flow,
Mm.
and not everybody can do that. So it does not matter. What's the first thing you say? I forgot about what's the first thing you say?
Plan.
Plan. Okay.
Yeah.
The more you can refine your intention, the easier it is for the playground to respond to you. Yes, you can have a plan. However, um, right now is my understanding is that yes, you can plan. However, what you plan may not go sequentially. You may have to take one
Right.
step forward and then two step back and then
Yeah.
go in a different direction and then circle back to that. So sure, plan, but don't be fixated on, it's not following the plan. It must be wrong.
So it's not linear.
Yeah, it's
It-
not linear.
yeah,
Yes.
I get that. Yeah. So, but there's so is there order in the playground or is it all well random probability? Well, how do those play? How do you see that in the playground?
Um, it really depends on what it is that you want to create for yourself. Sometimes what you want to create, it like there may be some components that are not ready yet.
Mm.
So you may have to, do some side quest until, let's say, for example, let's say romance. I'm just giving an example is
Right.
okay, you want to have, be in a relationship with a certain type of person. Okay, so that person exists, but maybe right now that person is already has
Right.
another relationship that is
Yeah.
serious. And so, the two of you meeting is the time is not, it's not the time yet. The timing is wrong. However, that does not mean that, you can't have other boyfriends so that you can prepare for when that person is ready and you are ready.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
just
And my
because,
last, go ahead.
I was just going to say, just because you don't get exactly what you want at that time doesn't mean that anything is wrong. It's just that in order to give you exactly what it is that you want, yeah, there may be a delay.
Or, I've heard that if you ask for, well, first of all, do you ask for something? Or if you ask something, you got to say this or better, or be okay with whenever shows up. So you don't want to, your intention can't be too like, I want this like this and I want it tomorrow.
um it depends.
It depends.
It depends. it, it depends. Sometimes, so yeah, it depends. So what my experience is, you can be as specific even to the second.
Right.
However, also be flexible that, if the universe gives you 90%, not 100%, but 90% of what you want, would you be okay with that?
Right. Yeah.
It's okay to not be okay with it and wait for 100%. But sometimes the universe, at the timing that you give it, it may not be able to give you 100%, but the universe will at least give you as much as
Hmm.
it can.
Mm-hmm.
And
Wow.
if you insist on 100%, then the timing may be a little bit off.
Okay.
Because there's more than one way to get to the the destination that you want. And some destination, it may take a little longer.
Right. Yeah.
So if you know exactly what you want, but also be flexible.
Thank you. And one last question. I know I've been asking a lot of questions, but there are a lot of questions coming up. They talk a lot about frequencies, that you got to raise your vibration. How does that work according to what you talk about the playground?
Frequency of vibration is really about alignment.
Okay.
So like that usually translate to releasing beliefs that does not support you. So we are naturally high vibration. It's just that we have all these stories and restrictions that's weighing us down.
Right. That we've been programmed with.
That translates to, just let things go.
Yeah, that makes sense. Wow. Yeah, thank you very much.
Okay.
Amazing session. Amazing.
Well, thank you very much. And any other questions, comments? Okay, so just a reminder, everybody, next week I'm out of town.
Yes.
Have a good time.
So
Okay,
we're gonna
thank
see
you.
you Sunday, this coming Sunday.
No, we're coming back Sunday, so probably I don't know what time we'll come back on Sunday. So yeah,
Don't stream
So
it.
not this Sunday either.
this Sunday is fine. This Sunday I'm still in town.
Okay.
But next
The
Thursday.
following
Then
Sunday.
we're gonna meet you in 2 weeks, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
Thank you.
Have a great time there.
Yes, have a great
And
time.
bring us some
Thank
news.
you,
Winnie. Thank
Tell us about
Thank
it.
you. Thank you.
Okay, I
Thank
will.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.